Tonight, we are bringing two of the greatest voices of freedom into one place. Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, and Robert Nesta Marley, Bob Marley. Two men who walked very different roads. One born into ancient India. One born into the hills of Jamaica. One walked barefoot from village to village. The other sang barefoot on stages that shook the world. One taught silence. One taught song. But both taught freedom. And tonight, we explore the one truth they shared. Your mind can be your prison. Or your mind can be your liberation. No one else decides that for you. Before we dive in, take one moment to drop a comment and let us know where in the world you're listening from. Your presence here grows this community of seekers, and it means more than you know. This is Buddha Unfiltered, where ancient wisdom meets raw, real, modern consciousness. Let's begin. White medium star, the call to freedom. Bob Marley once said, "Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds." The Buddha said, "You are your own master. You are your own refuge." Different words, same truth. No one is coming to save you. You must awaken yourself. The chains the Buddha spoke of were not metal. They were habits, illusions, cravings, fears, ego. The chains Bob Marley sang about were not political alone. They were mental, spiritual, existential. Both men understood the real prison is built inside the skull. And that is exactly why their teachings still shake the world today. Because truth doesn't age. Wisdom doesn't expire. Freedom doesn't go out of style. White medium star, chapter 1. The Buddha and the Rastaman. Picture this. A monk in ancient India, seated beneath a fig tree, eyes closed, watching the breath, searching for the end of suffering. Now picture this. A young Bob Marley, eyes half closed, swaying in a Kingston studio thick with rhythm, channeling something larger than himself. One uses the breath, the other uses the beat. But both are diving into the same ocean of inner truth. Because the Buddha wasn't just teaching meditation. He was teaching revolution, the revolution that begins inside. And Bob Marley wasn't just singing reggae. He was singing awakening, the awakening that rises when courage touches consciousness. A monk with a bowl, a musician with a guitar, two spiritual warriors with weapons made of truth. White medium star, the first rebel. The Buddha. People think the Buddha was gentle. Yes, he was compassionate. But gentle? Not always. He was a rebel against illusion, a revolutionary against ignorance, a breaker of inner chains. He walked away from a kingdom, dismantled the idea of self, destroyed every comfort of ego, and shattered the most powerful delusion of all. Someone else can free me. The Buddha didn't just teach enlightenment. He taught fearlessness. And his message was simple. Don't follow me. Know yourself. See clearly. Wake up. Which brings us to White medium star, the second rebel, Bob Marley. People think Bob Marley was peace and love. And yes, he was, but he was also a warrior of consciousness. He sang against oppression, but also against the invisible oppression that you do to your own mind. Listen to his words. None but ourselves can free our minds. That is Buddhism. That is liberation. That is awakening in reggae form. Bob Marley wasn't singing about a political system. He was singing about the mind, your mind, and the chains you carry without even realizing it. Fear, doubt, comparison, attachment, anger, insecurity, ego. And he sang the antidote to all of it. One love, one heart, one consciousness. That is oneness, the very heart of Buddhist realization. White medium star, chapter 2. The roots of suffering. Both the Buddha and Bob Marley understood one thing perfectly. Most of your suffering comes from the way you think, not the world outside you. The Buddha called it dukkha, the dissatisfaction that grows when the mind clings to illusions. Marley called it Babylon, the mental system of confusion, greed, ego, and illusion. Two different languages, same beast, and they both gave the same solution: wake up, open your eyes, see reality clearly. Stop believing everything your mind tells you. Because once you understand that your thoughts are not your identity, you're already halfway free. White Medium Star Chapter 3. There is no enemy outside you. The Buddha said, "Greater than conquering 1,000 armies is conquering your own mind." Bob Marley said, "The people who are trying to make this world worse are not taking a day off. Why should I?" Both understood. The real enemy, the real oppressor, the real saboteur is inside. Your fear, your anger, your craving, your doubt, your old stories, your old wounds, your unexamined habits. When you defeat these, you become unstoppable, because you become free. White Medium Star Chapter 4. The Path of Inner Peace. The Buddha found peace under the Bodhi tree. Bob Marley found peace through music, through ganja, through prayer, but most of all through connection to the present moment. Listen to his line, "In this bright future, you can't forget your past." That is mindfulness, the awareness of where you came from without being chained to it. And this, "Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be all right." That is letting go, trusting the moment. And this, "Live the life you love. Love the life you live." That is non-attachment. That is equanimity. Bob Marley wasn't reading sutras. He was living them. Chapter 5. I and I. The Rasta truth of non-self. Bob Marley often used the phrase I and I. To most people, it sounds like poetry. To the awakened mind, it is a doorway into profound truth. In Rasta philosophy, I and I means that there is no separation between the individual and the divine, between the self and the other, between you and the world. There is only one consciousness wearing many faces. Now, listen to the Buddha. There is no separate self. All things are thousands of years apart, two cultures worlds away. Yet they both point to the same realization. You are not a single, isolated self. You are consciousness expressing itself through a temporary human body. Marley said it one way. The Buddha said it another. But both dissolved the illusion of me versus you. I and I is the Rasta version of non-duality. It is ego melting. It is unity consciousness. It is Buddha nature with a rhythm. When you see the world through I and I, you stop hurting people because they're you. You stop competing because there's nothing to win. You stop hating because the hate ricochets back into your own mind. You stop feeling alone because you realize you never were. The Buddha called it anatta. Marley called it I and I, but the meaning is the same. You are not separate. You never were. You never will be. And when you know that, you walk through life with a peace that no one can take from you. White Medium Star Chapter 6. Bob Marley as a Bodhisattva. A Bodhisattva is someone who wakes up and then uses their life to help others wake up too. Most people imagine monks. Most people imagine saints. But a Bodhisattva can show up in any form the world needs. And Bob Marley was one of them. Think about it. He used music to soften hearts, open minds, and lift people out of suffering. He used rhythm the way the Buddha used silence, to calm the mind and bring people into presence. He used lyrics as teachings. He used concerts as meditations. He used his life as a message. Look at the Bodhisattva vow. May I free all beings from suffering. Now listen to Marley. My life is only important if I can help plenty people. That is a Bodhisattva. Not by label, but by action. He didn't live for ego. He didn't live for fame. He didn't live for luxury. He lived to raise consciousness, to awaken his people, to dissolve mental slavery. Many awakeners use silence. Marley used a guitar. Many teach with sutras. Marley taught with songs. If the Buddha had a reggae version of the Dharma, Bob Marley was it. White Medium Star Chapter 7. Suffering and Babylon. Same enemy, different names. The Buddha said the root of suffering is ignorance, craving, and illusion. Rastafari called the system of illusion Babylon. Babylon isn't a place, it's a mindset. It's the human tendency to live asleep, caught in fear, trapped in ego, obsessed with illusions, distracted by desire. The Buddha saw the same thing in ancient India. People chasing pleasure, clinging to identity, worshipping status, lost in attachment, suffering without understanding why. Marley saw it in Jamaica. The Buddha saw it in India. And you can see it right now by simply opening your front door. Babylon is the world when your consciousness is low, when fear governs, when ego rules, when craving owns you. The Buddha said, "See the world as fire." Marley said, "Until the philosophy that holds one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited, there will be war." Different words, same vision. We live in a world asleep, and we must awaken if we want peace. You don't need to escape Babylon physically. You escape it internally. That's the Buddha's path. That's Marley's message. Freedom is not a place. It's a state of consciousness. White Medium Star, Chapter 8. The Path to Inner Liberation. The Buddha offered 8 steps to freedom. Complete path. A psychological blueprint. Bob Marley offered 3 steps. 1 love. 1 heart. 1 destiny. Let's merge them into a single, powerful path you can actually use. White Medium Star 1. Right view, see through the illusions. The Buddha, understand reality as it is. Marley, open your eyes. Look within. You stop suffering the moment you stop lying to yourself. White Medium Star 2. Right thought, clean your mind. The Buddha, think clearly. Release hate. Release greed. Marley, don't let them change you or rearrange you. Your mind is your home. Clean it. White Medium Star 3. Right speech, speak conscious truth. The Buddha, avoid gossip, lies, cruelty. Marley, speak love. Speak life. Words create worlds. Speak wisely. White Medium Star 4. Right action, live with integrity. The Buddha, act in alignment with truth. Marley, live the life you love. Love the life you live. Integrity is liberation. White Medium Star 5. Right livelihood, don't sell your soul. The Buddha, earn your living without harm. Marley, my music will go on forever. Do work that doesn't break your spirit. White Medium Star 6. Right effort, protect your mind. The Buddha, guard the mind from negativity. Marley, don't worry about a thing. Effort isn't force, it's awareness. White Medium Star 7. Right mindfulness, stay present. The Buddha, observe your breath. Stay awake in each moment. Marley, every little thing is going to be all right. Presence dissolves fear. White Medium Star 8. Right concentration, inner peace. The Buddha, train the mind to be steady. Marley, the stone that the builder refused will always be the head cornerstone. Steadiness makes you unshakable. Together, their teachings create a path so universal that anyone can walk it. Anywhere, no matter their background, their past, or their pain. White Medium Star, Chapter 9. The Power of Sound and Silence. The Buddha mastered silence. Bob Marley mastered sound. Yet both were using vibration to transform human consciousness. Sound and silence are not opposites. They are 2 halves of the same awakening. Silence brings awareness inward. Sound brings awareness alive. The Buddha used silence to show you your mind. Marley used sound to soften your mind. Silence heals the noise. Music heals the pain. And when you combine them, your consciousness expands in both directions. The Buddha's breath and Marley's rhythm are doors to the same infinite space. Chapter 10. Karma, Dharma, and Redemption Song. Bob Marley's Redemption Song is more than a song. It's a spiritual teaching. Listen to the opening words. Old pirates, yes, they rob I, but my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. This isn't just history. It's karmic understanding. The Buddha taught that every experience, every challenge, every wound, every moment of darkness can become a path to awakening if you meet it with awareness. The Buddha said, your suffering is your teacher. Marley said, my hand was made strong. Same truth, same message, different rhythm. Karma isn't punishment, it's education. It's the curriculum of the soul. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every loss is shaping you into someone deeper, wiser, more compassionate. Marley knew that. The Buddha lived that. Both realized that redemption is not something you're given. It's something you create through understanding. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. That line isn't just emotional. It is Dharma. Pure Dharma. The Buddha taught the exact same thing 2,500 years earlier. Free yourself from the tangle of the mind, because the real chains are not on your wrists. They're on your beliefs. White Medium Star Chapter 11. Addiction, Desire, and Three Little Birds. The Buddha said the root of suffering is tanha, craving, the endless chasing, the addiction to feeling good. Bob Marley transformed this teaching into joy. When he sang, "Don't worry about a thing, every little thing is gonna be all right," he wasn't telling you to be passive. He wasn't telling you to avoid responsibility. He was telling you, stop letting craving and fear run your life. Three Little Birds is Buddhist psychology disguised as a feel-good melody, because desire is never satisfied. It always wants more. More money, more attention, more validation, more escape, and fear always whispers, "What if? What if? What if?" But Marley stepped above both desire and fear and sang from the space the Buddha called equanimity, the place where the mind is calm, where the heart is steady, where nothing shakes you. That's the place where all spiritual awakening happens. Not in the highs, not in the lows, but in the middle path, the path between craving and aversion, the path where peace lives. And Marley delivered that peace in three simple, immortal lines. Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be all right. That is the entire Dharma in one melody. White Medium Star Chapter 12. Enlightenment and One Love. Most people misunderstand enlightenment. They think it's cosmic fireworks. They think it's a mystical trance. They think it's becoming superhuman. But the Buddha described enlightenment as something profoundly simple, awakening from the illusion of separateness. If you remove the religious language, Marley said the exact same thing. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel all right. One love is the reggae version of enlightenment, because when you truly feel the interconnectedness of everything, ego collapses, fear dissolves, attachment softens, hatred becomes impossible. When you experience one love, not just as a song but as a reality, you become enlightened without even using that word. The Buddha taught metta, loving kindness, infinite goodwill, universal compassion. Marley turned metta into a global anthem. He taught the world to see through race, class, religion, nation, and recognize the same consciousness in every human being. He was not preaching. He was awakening. One love is the heart of Buddhism sung through the soul of Jamaica. White Medium Star Chapter 13. The Four Noble Truths, reggae version. If the Buddha taught the Four Noble Truths in the streets of Kingston, here's how they would sound. White Medium Star Truth 1. Life brings suffering. The Buddha. There is dukkha, stress, pain, dissatisfaction. Marley. Every man got a right to decide his own destiny. Translation. Life is heavy until you learn how to carry it. White Medium Star Truth 2. Suffering has a cause. The Buddha. Attachment. Marley. Don't let them fool ya, or even try to school ya. Translation. Most of your pain comes from believing your thoughts and forgetting who you truly are. White Medium Star Truth 3. Suffering can end. The Buddha. Nirvana. Marley. Rise up this morning, smiled with the rising sun. Translation. Freedom is possible when you return to the present moment. White Medium Star Truth 4. Follow a path. The Buddha. The Noble Eightfold Path. Marley. Get up, stand up for your rights. Translation. You must walk your path with courage, awareness, and compassion. White Medium Star Chapter 14. The Spirit of Fearlessness. Fear is not the enemy. Fear is the doorway. Both the Buddha and Marley walked through that doorway. The Buddha sat face to face with Mara, the embodiment of fear, desire, ego, and illusion. He didn't fight him. He didn't resist. He simply saw through him. Bob Marley faced threats, poverty, violence, and even an assassination attempt. And the next day, he walked right back on stage. When asked why, he said, "The people who are trying to make this world worse are not taking a day off. Why should I? That is a Buddha. That is a Bodhisattva. That is someone who has conquered fear from the inside. Fearlessness does not mean you feel no fear. Fearlessness means you refuse to bow to it." The Buddha faced Mara. Marley faced Babylon. You face your own thoughts. And when you stand your ground, you awaken the warrior inside you. Not a warrior of violence, but a warrior of consciousness, a warrior of truth, a warrior of peace. The Buddha carried a begging bowl. Marley carried a guitar. You carry your mind. And inside that mind is the only battlefield that ever truly mattered. White Medium Star Chapter 15. The Healing Power of Presence. Presence is the one medicine that works on every human mind. When the Buddha breathed, he became presence. When Marley sang, he became presence. When you listen deeply, right now, you become presence. Presence dissolves anxiety. Presence dissolves overthinking. Presence dissolves regret. Presence dissolves the future. Presence brings you back to the only place where life is actually happening. This moment, this breath, this heartbeat. The Buddha sat in stillness. Marley swayed in rhythm. But both knew, presence is the doorway to inner peace. Chapter 16. Detachment. Letting go and no woman, no cry. Buddhism teaches that clinging is the rope tied around your own throat. Attachment is suffering, not because the world is cruel, but because the mind refuses to let life flow. Now think of Marley's words. Everything's gonna be all right. And in No Woman, No Cry, the most misunderstood line in reggae, he wasn't telling women not to cry. He was telling the human heart. Do not cling to your pain. Let it pass through you. Let it go. The Buddha said it like this. In this world, everything is passing. Learn to let go. Marley sang it like this. Good friends we have. Oh, good friends we've lost along the way. And then he reminds you, in this bright future, you can't forget your past. This is Buddhist mindfulness, the ability to remember with clarity but not cling with sorrow. The Buddha taught you to sit with your pain without becoming your pain. Marley taught you to feel your wounds without becoming those wounds. Both knew that the tears we cry are often the very waters that cleanse us. White Medium Star Chapter 17. Suffering is universal, and so is love. Buddhism teaches that suffering is universal. Everyone you meet is carrying a story you will never fully know. Bob Marley said the same truth in a way that touches the heart instantly. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel all right. Not think all right, not hope all right. Feel all right, because healing begins the moment you allow yourself to feel connected instead of alone. The Buddha called this compassion karuna, the understanding that your suffering is my suffering and my suffering is yours. Marley called it one love, two languages, one medicine. The Buddha heals the mind. Marley heals the heart. Together, they heal the whole human being. White Medium Star Chapter 18. The mind is a jungle. There is a moment every seeker experiences, the moment they realize, the mind can't be trusted, not as long as it's untrained. Your mind can take you to heaven or hell in the same 5 minutes. And Bob Marley knew this perfectly. He said, some people feel the rain, others just get wet. Two people, same storm, different minds. The Buddha said it like this. We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. The mind is a jungle, dense, wild, unpredictable. If you enter it without awareness, you get lost. If you enter it with mindfulness, you become its king. Marley entered the jungle with rhythm and courage. The Buddha entered the jungle with silence and clarity. Both emerged with the same message. You must learn to rule your mind or your mind will rule you. White Medium Star Final Closing. Buddha Unfiltered. Thank you for taking this journey. Before you go, drop a comment and share where in the world you're listening from. And if this message shifted your mind, softened your heart, or awakened something inside you, subscribe to Buddha Unfiltered so these teachings continue flowing into your life. This is the place where ancient wisdom meets the modern seeker, where truth is raw, where awakening is real, where Buddha and Bob Marley shake hands and show you the path home. One love, one heart, one mind, one truth. You are free. You always were. You always will be.